In addition to cheating on him with multiple men inside his home, Steve Harvey's third wife, Marjorie, is now considering filing for divorce. However, before she can do so and receive a sizable sum of money from her comedian husband, one of her booty calls is coming out about all of her shady dealings. And if that wasn't bad enough, he is threatening to expose her with proof of their affair. Steve Harvey is requesting that Marjorie pay him enormous sums of money in order to cover up the fact that she reportedly cheated on him with one of his bodyguards. Here at the Celebrity Hike channel, we're going to talk about how Steve Harvey's bodyguard is finally coming forward to expose Marjorie Harvey about their affair. Before we get into that, though, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future uploads. There are a lot of theories about what might be going on, and one theory even suggests that this was the bodyguard's and Marjorie's plan all along. So hold on tight to your seats because this story is a real doozy. Happiness now for those of you who are unaware of the events in the Harvey family. Allow us to briefly recap. It is said that the couple has been experiencing issues in their family for some time now, following the revelation that Marjorie had been seeing two separate men in addition to Steve, and that this had made matters worse. You see, Marjorie is a wise woman who knows what to do to protect her future and well-being. After all of this came to light, she decided to file for divorce, and as if that weren't bad enough, she decided to demand a big sum of money in the divorce settlement. According to the report, she wanted half of everything Steve owned when she left the house. However, recent events in this story have completely changed the story, so she may need to choose a different course of action. She is now in danger, and her own affairs are pursuing her. People believe that Marjorie and Steve's bodyguard may have been planning this all along, but we will discuss that theory in more detail before telling you about the theory that Marjorie and Steve's bodyguard are planning to milk it. According to reports, Steve's bodyguard, one of the people she cheated on him with, is now threatening to expose her to not only Steve, but the rest of the world as well. If that wasn't bad enough, he also allegedly has compromised pictures of Marjorie. Steve Dryak all his money, make sure to share this video with a friend who might enjoy our content. And give this video a big thumbs up while you're at it too, because people at my church you can't get another divorce. Oh yeah, I can now. According to some fans, all of this was Marjorie's plan from the start. We all know how Marjorie loves money. And she has kind of made herself the reputation of being obsessed with money. If you don't believe us, let us tell you how Steve and Marjorie met for the first time. We know how they always try to tell the public about this sweet story of love at first sight. But the truth is far from that. You see, the two met for the first time back in the 90s at one of Steve's shows. He was in a comedy club at one of his gigs, and Marjorie came to his show late. As soon as she entered, he stopped the whole show and just kept staring at her. She thought he was going to joke about how she was late. But instead, he told everyone at the show that he had no idea who this woman was, but he knew she was going to be the woman he was going to marry one day. She came down front with her girlfriend. When I saw I quit breathing, he stopped the show. It was obvious that Steve had an instant crush on her the moment he saw her. But that wasn't the case with Marjorie. When Steve asked her out later that night, she declined his offer. But why? Well, she said that she would never be with a man who wouldn't be able to provide her with the lifestyle she wanted. And remember, this is back when Steve was hardly getting by. When you look at the people Marjorie was married to before Steve, it's pretty obvious that her first priority has always been money. She was married to two high-profile drug dealers. But as soon as times got tough in their marriage, and they got busted, she walked right out the door anyway. Let's get back to Steve and Marjorie. You might be wondering, if she rejected Steve back then, how did they end up getting married? Well, after Steve's second divorce, he was devastated. He had lost a lot of money and his wife as well. This is when he turned to his bodyguard and friend for advice. And take a guess about who the bodyguard asked Steve to call in this time. Yes, you're right, his bodyguard said that he had never seen Steve happier than he did when he was with Marjorie, so we should call her and reconnect. And ever since then, the two have been married. This is one of the biggest reasons why people think that there might be something going on between Marjorie and Steve's bodyguard. Why did he ask Steve to call her, and specifically fans think that it was their plan from the start to blackmail Steve and milk him dry of all his wealth? That's where all the fingers point. And when you look at all the proof that fans have, it all really makes sense as well. So what is this plan that the two have? Well, we can never be too sure. But that doesn't stop fans from coming up with theories and speculations. According to some fans, this is the culmination of the bodyguard and Marjorie's over 16 years of planning. They liked each other, but Marjorie realized that he couldn't give her the lifestyle she desired. As she put it, you know what you want, and if he wants you, then he knows what's going to take for you. So they worked out a plan whereby she married Steve, enjoyed all of his wealth, secured her children's inheritance, and secretly snuck around with the bodyguard. This may sound crazy, but before Marjorie files for divorce and demands a sizable sum of money as part of the divorce settlement, the bodyguard will blackmail Steve. While Marjorie pretends that she didn't see this coming, it is sometimes necessary to make mistakes in order to learn from them. As we all know, Steve will stop at nothing to preserve the reputation of his family and his wife. Therefore, once the bodyguard has amassed enough money through blackmailing his boss, Marjorie will file for divorce and demand a sizable divorce settlement from Steve. Nothing is ever too wild in Hollywood, and if all of this is true, it could seriously damage Steve's reputation as a family man, especially considering that he's perceived as being in a relationship. After all, this is Hollywood. Gurus in the Black community, do you believe that Marjorie and Steve Harvey's bodyguard are conspiring against Steve in order to obtain all of this money? What do you think will happen next in this dysfunctional Harvey family? Please share your opinions and predictions in the comments section below. And before you leave, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a huge thumbs up in order to see more videos like it in the future. With that said, we'll see you in our next video, which will contain even more juicy rumors. In addition to cheating on him with multiple men inside his home, Steve Harvey's third wife Marjorie is now considering filing for divorce. However, before she can do so and receive a sizable sum of money from her comedian husband, one of her booty calls is coming out about all of her shady dealings. And if that wasn't bad enough, he is threatening to expose her with proof of their affair. Steve Harvey is requesting that Marjorie pay him enormous sums of money in order to cover up the fact that she reportedly cheated on him with one of his bodyguards. Here at the Celebrity Hike channel, we're going to talk about how Steve Harvey's bodyguard is finally coming forward to expose Marjorie Harvey about their affair. Before we get into that, though, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up